I'm now going to be reading a sequence. I was invited by Charles Bernstein to think about contributing to a Chaucer Congress that was taking place in New York. Chaucer scholars, all of them, massive affair. And I said yes. So this is what came out of that project. I read them in the summer for the first time. And once in Southampton last week, so it's obviously now becoming a bit of a touring piece, trying it out. These are called shorter Chaucer tales. There's 4 of them. The Host Tale. The fruit of every thaler is for to say, the eater and drinker and dancer and singer and player. They soupen and they speke, and drinken every strong ale at the beste. Now let us sitte and drinken and make us Maria, and let us dine as soon as that ye may. Let us hear a messe and go we din, the service doen they soupen al by day, and to the dinner faster they hem spedde, and go we din with him to dine to come to dinner. And thus he later hem ete and drinke and player. But thus he later in lust and jollity, he later hem till men to the supper dresser. The ete and drinker, and when this hadde an ende of mete and drinker, and eten also and drinken over him might, the drinker and speke, and rome a while and player, ordained hath this feste which I told her, go to feste, at a kinges feste. Ich man would well that at a kinges feste hath plenty to the muster and to the lester, arrayed for this feste in every wise, when he of wine was replete at his feste. They fed to him first the sweeter wine, and sent him drinker. And there he swore on ale and bread, with bread and Chaucer, and a good ale in a juba. Cheweth grain and licorice, with water and malt, both meal and corn, be it water or otus, for male and bread, and roasted ham a goose, that they han eten with thy stubborn goose, and beget meal and Chaucer, or elles corn. Instead of a flour, yet wolle je have hem brennen, the meest of Chaucer, ye was a bushel water, malt or rye, a goddess catchel or a tripe of Chaucer, bacon or beef. Saint bacon and sometime an eye or twee. The bacon was not fit for him. And of your softer bread, not but a shiverer, and after that a roasted pig's head. Milk and brown bread, many a mussel and many an oyster, a carker of half a bushel finder, many a pasty, and eke the wine. The spices and the wine is come anoon, of spiceria, of leek and bark and rooter, the springing herbes greater and smaller, the licorice and setevala, and many a cloe gilofra, and note mugger to put in ala, whether it be moister or stala, and royal spiceria, and gingerbread, and licorice, and eke cummin, so that men machte diner. Bacchus the wine hem shinketh all about her, and brochte of mighty ale a large quart. And when then each of hem had drunken his part, now kepe you for the whiter and for the redder. Van man so drinketh of the whiter and the redder, for the whiter wine of leper, this wine of spaigna crepeth subtili, and then he taketh a sup in fine claria, he drinketh hypocras, claria, and venaja, of spices hooter, or else a dracht of fresh-drawn malty ale. I had a lever than a barrel ale, drinketh a drochter, drinken of this vela a drochter, fetch me drinker. He drank, and Joff his fellow a drinker also, men drinken. This messenger drank sadly, ale and wine. Now thou shalt drinken of another toner, shall savour worse than ale, for she drank wine, she drank. How fairer been thy breasts than his wine, when I had drunk a drochter sweeter wine, as every mortar I drinken wine or ale. But first I make a protestation that I am drunken, that for drunken was al pala, so that he was drunk of ale, full pala he was for drunken. O January, drunken in plaisance, he will drink liqueur of the viner. I am one to preach for to wine, so drunken he was, a drunken man, ye far as folk that drunken were of Adam. and for despite he drank full mucho more, lo how that drunkens lose unkindly, for drunkenness is, and drunkenness is eke a foul record, a lecherous thing is wine, a liquorous mouth must behind a liquorous tail. Hath the wind bereaved of me mine iron sight? Ye shall have digestives of wormers, or you take your laxatives of l'oreal, centaur and fumitaire, of herb ye were growing in your yard, the merries peck hem right as they grow, and eat hem in, till well knew the day began to springer. Here is ended the host tale. The summer tale. Rome is the home of ice cream, and for generations burghers and pilgrims illic, these glad folk have forsaken dessert at the inn for the simple plaisance of sitting outside with a takeaway cone. The last Pope, Papa Johannes Paulus II, a priest holy and gay, used to have tubs of his favorite flavor, marron glacé, delivered to his summer residence. Thanked be God in vele and abundance. But if his successor, Pope Benedict XVI, wants to see how Polish ice cream compares during a voyage, a trip here this week, get us some mater and drinker, he is likely to be a payer, a bit disappointed. For many a pasty has stole, cakes and ice cream can easily go off in summer temperatures, and they can pose a danger to health that has been twice hot and twice cold, a spokeswoman for local health bailiffs quote to Agence France Presse. That's why we're banning takeaway ourselves on the day many pilgrims will be arriving in Wadowice. And that isn't all that has made it on the list of avoided banned items. Areas that the Pope will visit her, including the cities of Warsaw and Krakow, will be dry, with a ban on all liquor sales while the Papa is in tune. For goddess love, drink more temperately. Polish menace of Lauer saying the ban is in place to maintain public order and as a mark of respect for the pontiff. No drinker wish that mirtehem drunken marker, but therein abstinence prayer and waka. Papa Benedict XVI himself will be offered both red and white wine. Deus hic, quote he, God is here, as he attends houses of office stuffed with plenty, a series of solemnly gala soapers, according to local media voice reports. Television advertisements for liqueur have also been banned, along with those for contraceptives, lingerie and tampons. Chaucer was man in paradise, certain. There is always the risk that the faithful may feel hurt. How many maladies forward of excess and of gluttony if programming devoted to the Pope's visit, wedded to poverty and continence, charity, humblesse and abstinence, is interrupted by frivolous ads. The body is I so ready and penible, the head of advertising for Telewizja Polska, the state-run TV network told the Associated Press news agency. BBC News, 24th May 2006, here is endeth the summer tale.